Welcome back, everybody. We are doing game preparation again for Dwarves and Dweomers, my 5th edition D&D game. Um, from last week, a few things happened. My group completed the dungeon that I had laid out for them in the Dwarven Mine and uncovered a necromantic altar, defeated the Flame Skull and other undead that were defending it, and returned back to town. So today, we're going to have the follow-up from that, and I thought it'd be good to record my DM preparation and share it with others. So the first thing that we're going to do is look at the player characters. Unfortunately, Oscar is not going to make it tonight. His player has other things going on, so we're not going to have that. We're going to do a quick review. Nogden is a half-orc, wants to kill a great monster. Apparently, size matters. He really wants to kill something very large. And he is definitely a barbarian with lots of interesting flavor to him that the player gave him. Another half orc, Todd Gordon, a teenage semi-emo necromancer half orc raised by his stepfather and biological human mother. He sort of has uh, his own words, Dummy's Guide to Necromancy. A couple of weeks ago, raised his first zombie. That led to all sorts of moral discussions with the rest of his party, particularly the cleric, who was not really in favor of it. It's funny, the player is definitely not an emo male teenager. Definitely the player is going against type here, which is part of the fun, of course. And then two gnomes, in addition to the two half-orcs. Remora Springwrench, who's a mastermind rogue, budding spy master. I got some interesting feedback from the player last week that the character felt she had to leave because she felt the need to prove herself after her parents successfully led a revolt against Drow in their city. So that could be fun. The idea of, now that she's in the Underdark, the daughter of a couple of known revolutionaries, the Drow might not have much love for them. Nice quotes, do we want to kill him, etc. And then the professor, a divination wizard who's a professor of history who's now looking into the future. Um, who was not present last week. The player was not there last week. Generally, my rule of thumb is I have 5 players in the game. If one is going to miss, we're going to go ahead and play. If more than one is going to miss, we're going to not have it. Or if I'm going to be the one that will miss, such as will happen next week, because I'll be at a D&D convention or an RPG convention playing D&D. Okay, so that's the current state. They are resting in the town. Which is the name of the town? They're resting in a town where they have Thulgran. They're resting in Thulgran, a dwarven village, some human and gnomes, governed by the priest of Odin. I generated that from Donjon. I feel like I need a little bit more, maybe, but what I want to do is think first about the main story arc in which they are confronting what looks like some sort of a resurgence by Orcus, the demon lord of the undead. There are a couple of background arcs. We mentioned the Drow. We have a little bit of things to think about in terms of what we're doing. We have Bladeforge politics. We have the fact that Orcus has managed to, at least at some level, infiltrate the bureaucracy of the Dwarven Kingdom. And a couple of interesting world bits that the players have created, as I mentioned earlier. What I think I want to do, since the way this last dungeon ran was the fact that they had to go in and clean out a mine where the dwarven miners had gone a little bit insane, where they had attacked some of the other dwarven villagers and killed some of them, and then the mine partially collapsed while they were in it, is I want them to have a confrontation with the village I want them to have, when they wake up from their long rest in the inn, I want people to be asking them about their loved ones, about what happened, and during it all, I want the owner of the mine to confront them and basically accuse them of destroying his mine, his asset. So what do we need? We're going to need villager NPCs. We need the mine owner NPC. And most of the villager NPCs are going to be pretty straightforward to do, right? That is, I've built some already. Well, these are for Blade Forge. That's the Dwarven King. What do we have here? Nope, she is a clue to another background dark. The cleric, who, as I mentioned, won't be here tonight, is searching for an artifact of Thor. I don't have a good use for this NPC yet, but I don't know. Let's see. This one, Arlat, searching for the lost dominion of Tiriandi. He is good at solving puzzles, enunciates overly clearly. We might use him. Otig seeks to free your soul from an ancient curse. Has seen the bone collector in the megalith burrows. Oh yes, that's another art that I want to build at some point. Um, where did my description go? Well, that is related to, you'd see the you see the label here, Eureka. That's because from the Gnome Stew Eureka supplement, there's an interesting storyline from there that I want to use, as well as Orcus has blessed a particular goat as his avatar, and those goats turn out to be sentient and behind a number of events. In fact, I think I'm going to use that here. Right, so what we really need are NPCs. We need maybe sort of a rabble rouser. Nah, that's probably unfair. They probably have reasons to be upset and concerned about lost family members. And we need the mine owner. So let's see. I took from the DMG the NPC creation tables, built them into Google Sheets, and built a little generator, right? So it just does a random generation off of all of those tables. This is not publicly available right now. I'm not sure that I can because it's just material from the DMG, not from the basic rules. So let's see. The way what I usually try to do is I combine this with the Donjon generator, right? Donjon generator. Look, we've got these random NPCs. I already set it to dwarf because this is a. I could do gnome as well, but I think for the mine owner that needs to be a dwarf because it's a dwarven mine, right? Right. Make sure they are NPC class. Let's see, it could be a craftsman. Um, these are good. Yeah, it's fine. Look at this guy. So Ukon, male dwarf craftsman, brown hair, narrow brown eyes, sharp nose, modest garment, several small tools hang from his belt. He owns the mine. So we're going to come back to, you know what, I'm not going to keep that in that mode anymore. Back to Trello, add a card, Ukon. I'm going to come into here, add a more detailed description, save, and now we're going to find, oh, what makes sense? A feature. Do you have any particular features? What did we already say about him? Brown hair, narrow brown eyes, and a sharp nose. We need something that stands out. That doesn't stand out. That helps, but it doesn't stand out. You know what does stand out, possibly, is if he's bald. No, you can't say he's bald. We already said he's got brown hair. That doesn't make any sense. He has distinctive jewelry. Okay. That's fine. The real important pieces, though, are mannerism and then his personality. Um, Turtle's hair or Tug's beard. See here, I'm not using the random generator. I'm just grabbing things that look interesting to me. Here, I guess I will, though. Alignment. I'm just going to call him lawful neutral. I want him to be lawful neutral for the way he's going to fit into the story. So he's going to be upset, and possibly through misunderstanding, possibly through guile, blame the adventurers for what happened to the mine. It's really not their fault. It's not his fault either, though. Let's go back. Interaction trait. Interaction trait. His trait, arrogant. Definitely. Definitely arrogant. His ideal, responsibility, moderation, neutrality, people. Responsibility. Trait, arrogant. Ideal, responsibility. And finally, we need bonds and flaws. Bonds protective of a valuable possession, the mine, and flaws, well, I think that a couple of these make sense. Arrogance, which we already said, so that's his trait. I don't want to make that his flaw as well. Certainly it is a flaw that he has. Prone to rage. Okay, so let's see. Ukon owned the mine in which the adventurers destroyed a necromantic altar. He blames them for the destruction, collapse of the mine, and wants not retribution, recompense. Okay. Oops. Save. Okay. So how's we're going to start off? We're going to start off potential scene. They've already done this. They're going to wake up in the nearby village, confronted by dwarves and gnomes concerned for the fate of their loved ones, and then the mine owner blames them for the loss of the mine. All of this, yep, gonna have an attachment there, should be exacerbated by the fact that they saw the half-orc necromancer raise. Did they see him raise one of the dwarves? I'm pretty sure he did. Um, and so they're going to claim that he's involved. Now, notice that I'm not outlining any kind of success criteria how they resolve it. I don't know. I don't know. They'll have to figure that out themselves. Let's see what else. Now, whenever they do leave, as soon as they leave, I know they want to fight something big. They want to fight something really big. So I'm going to go over to Cobalt Fight Club. Make sure my sources are set. Make sure that Tome of Beasts is selected because I have that. And I have all the other official material. So I think I have Demon Cults and Secret Societies too. So what I care about is size. Let's try to find something huge. I don't mind it being a little bit lower CR. I can balance that out and have several of them. What makes sense? Oh, environment. Underground. Yes. Oh, not a lot of options. Angler worm. They fought cave fishers before, which are a lot like the angler worm. The angler worm is what it sounds like. It's actually puts out these webs, grabs people. It's big and it's ugly. But a stone giant seems fun. So let's go over here to D&D Beyond. Add a giant. Sort by CR. We could have more trolls as well. Those are large though, not huge. Hill giant, stone giant. What do we know about them? They are good at hiding in rocky terrain. They throw big rocks. They like to live in caves and cavern networks. And they chip away at carvings. Carvers and seers. Okay, well that's good. So we can say that maybe as this person is some sort of a prophet or shaman, maybe they are a bit of a hermit. So we're going to have a stone giant hermit, right? What do we have? Thematic monsters. Add a card. Stone giant hermit. We're going to add the link here so that I have it for easy reference when I need it. Oops. Let's see. Move to the top. Yep. So it's right there. I also like to drop in a little bit of art. So we're going to go to Pinterest. This is really for my own reference. This is for my own inspiration. Of course, there's the D&D 5e one, but I want something a little bit more thematic somehow, so that when they ask, well, what does this guy look like? When I say, you see this giant, I like to have a reference to be working from when they ask questions or as I describe him. And I think this guy is fun because he's got markings on him. Yes, we're going to copy that image. Come back here. Nope, nope, nope. Not on the troll, on the stone giant. Drop that attachment on. Look, it's processing. Bam. Now he looks good. So the only other thing that I might think about is it's fine. I can, on the fly, describe his weapons, not necessarily as, how did I get two of these? Not necessarily as a great club, but as a stone axe, and just say that it is slashing damage. It's not really going to matter. That's fine. Potential scene. Encounter with stone giant. And what does this mean? First of all, we're going to do the attachment here, so in case I forget and just need to find it more easily. Stone giant has been corrupted by Orcus and now serves the Lord of Undeath. He is not, because I don't want to take the time to build this out, a necromancer per se, but we can add a few undead minions around him to make the fight more interesting. Note to self, this fits Notnin's desire to fight something I can't spell today really big. Good. We're good there. Let's go to Cobalt Fight Club. We're going to add the Stone Giant. That's medium. It's 4 players of level 6. It's a little tough because they don't have any healing, but that's what happens. It doesn't feel right to just take it easy completely because they don't have their healer available. Hopefully they have some potions of healing and whatnot What are we going to throw in there? I think a couple of, maybe one ghost. Is that enough? That might be. I like having the incorporeal undead because the necromancer in the party is really scared of them. Um, but I might grab one of these others that are not from the official material. Throw in a beggar ghoul or a nihilethic zombie. What is the nihilethic zombie? Let's see. Tome of Beasts. Let that load up. Nihilethic zombie is probably just under, well, not there. Monsters by challenge rating, maybe. Okay. We said that's CR1. The beggar ghoul is CR1 half. I'm going to go back here. CR1. Aboleth. Nihilethic zombie. Oh. Well, that. Maybe it's some kind of aboleth thing. I don't know. That seems unfortunate. Well, this doesn't tell me page numbers. That's not much of an index. I guess it's not an index, it's an appendix. Okay, fine. Aboleth, Nihileth. What is void speech? Page 8. Okay, good. Oops. Ah! I should have done this. Open a new window. Okay, that's going to be better. So the Nihilithic zombie is related to the Aboleths, apparently. That's on page 8. What is this? This is CR12, not the same thing. Nihilithic zombie. Created by the diseased will live Nihileths, which is like an undead Aboleth. Oh, I get it. Like nihilistic Aboleth. These zombies do their creators bleed without fear or hesitation. Depth swimmers. I'm not ready to pull in. Um, I'm not ready to pull in Aboleths into this storyline just yet. I do. Ghouls are on page 213. Let that load. Beggar ghoul. Oh, that's just a regular ghoul, some extra fun to him. That is okay. I'm going to pull that one into D&D Beyond shortly. Okay, so we can add a couple of those. That's good. Cobalt Fight Club, a couple of these. Um, yeah, and if it turns out, I mean, I can tweak it on the fly. If it turns out it's too tough, the Stone Giant can magically have less HP, or the bigger ghouls can suddenly be missing. I don't really like to fudge rolls, but I like to tweak numbers a little bit so I can suddenly change their two hits or what have you. Okay, so we're going to have a couple of those. I want to save this current encounter. There we go. Bam. Um, Add 2 beggar zombies, Tome of Beasts. The fight, we need some kind of interesting location where it happens. I need a random location. It needs to be, it can be anywhere. It can be the town, the wilderness. Let's try this again. somewhere amidst the vast waste is not. That is literally the least interesting thing. But it's in a random generator, so what can I? How can I complain? An island of floating wreckage. How about they already had a field of boulders once as they're moving through. So how about instead some of those fly at them? So what we're gonna do, this isn't really giving me much of an idea. You could think of the Underdark as a really huge dungeon. Oh, the floor is covered with humanoid bones, stone rubble. Someone has scrawled it. How about if they are investigating a boulder that's got something marked on it? Yeah, that's good. What am I saying? What I'm saying is, while traveling, no, near the Underroad, that's actually like a highway that connects cities, um, a large megalith has an unknown rune inscribed upon it. While when anyone investigates, the stone giant throws boulders from, I'm going to say, 60 feet, 2 moves away, and beggar ghouls attack. This is good. Now, what does this rune do? The rune should do something, right? I want to give the ability to the necromancer to try to do, or the wizard, either the divination wizard or the diviner or the necromancer, to figure out what's going on, right? As an action, a character succeeding on a DC 12 intelligence arcana check, blah blah blah, 5e, can empower the inscribed rune to do what? What effect does it have? Maybe it has a spell type of effect. Um, well, go get a little bit of healing, like necromantic magic healing. Uh, heal one creature nearby, blah blah blah. For 1d6, this healing clearly draws on necromantic powers. It's more of a flavor thing, and may and what else does it do? It has some kind of atmospheric effect and turns the air around it purplish black while doing so. The rune and the healed creature. Alright, that's not good enough to go into anything semi-official, but that's good enough for what I want to do. Alright, that's where that happens. So what do we have? We have a confrontation at the town. I have no idea how they'll resolve it. I have a couple of NPCs to deal with there, and more that I can generate if I need to. And I have a fight for them later on. The sessions are only 3 hours, so that should probably be enough. And I have enough other stuff in here. I have a Grimlock village. I have other rumors and things if they decide to talk to people there. That's enough to improvise on. Well, we'll see how it goes. Thanks for watching.